Salutations, friends. It is me, Eveline. I am here and I'm back with another video that isn't just a video for myself. We're doing a sketchbook tour today because I figured it'd be an easy way for me to get back into it because I'm, been I haven't filmed and produced an actual video in a little while. So we're doing this today. This is an older sketchbook. It's a little thick, a little messed up. I finished this guy back in January. It takes me an absurd amount of time to finish sketchbooks. I've got this one here. This one I'm working on. I'm like a little over halfway done with it. And I started this one, let's see, when did I start this one? In May of 2019. So, it's been a little while. It's been over a year and I'm not even, I'm barely halfway done with this. This one I started in September of 2018. So September 2018 to January 2020 is how long this guy took me. It's not gonna be a great sketchbook tour. It's gonna be probably a fairly average sketchbook. Not a lot of full-blown art pieces in here. A lot more of actual sketchbook stuff, some journaling, some scrapbooking. My sketchbooks are not usually tour quality. They're usually just a dumping ground for all of my shitty ideas, and then sometimes not so shitty ideas come out of them. My phone number's on the very first page, so we're gonna have to do the little jumpy jump. Ready? Okay. So here's the first pages. I've got this little picture frame of at the time back in September of 2018. These are all the things that very much made me happy. And they still are, They still are. Holds true to this day. And then there's a nice little portrait of myself with a camera. This is what I used to look like, y'all, 2 years ago. Here's a big, long, sappy, dark poetry that I wrote with flames behind it. There you go. You can pause that and read it if you want. This is all... I should probably say what I use. Everything, obviously, the first page was watercolor. This is inks. So it's black and red India ink that I mixed together. Some more poetry, again, with the watercolor. Again, you can pause and read if you'd like. And here's where we started Inktober of 2018. This is the best year that I've had. As you can see, I've gotten a lot of these. I only had 10 or so left to do. And some of my favorite paintings I've ever done come out of this, such as this, the Belladonna. Beautiful lady, Belladonna, very poisonous, can get you really fucked up and kill you. So, be careful with that one. We got Tranquil. This is one of my favorite paintings ever. I love the composition of it. I think it turned out really nice. And I think the tones really worked out. Same with the first one. I think this, tonally really worked out, and then, I have a hard time, it was one of the things I struggled with India ink in particular, which is what all of these are, is, tones, and, keeping light tones and dark tones, which that's a thing that is hard with India ink regardless. So, here, it kind of gets muddied and muddied up, and, this one is actually I did it not on the page, which is why this is all blacked out. This one, it looks off to me. I like it, but it looks very off. It's a silky chicken, but a warrior, Here's a little frog. He's kind of got a tail. Never quite grew out of that. And then little Precious. My anatomy isn't the greatest, and so, that one it could use some work, but I like the way that it turned out. And then Star, I drew my version of what I think Orion was. He was a warrior, cut off the lion's head, it's my favorite constellation. I have a tattoo of the constellation, and then back here, I put the constellation is behind him. And then this was supposed to be a thing, and then this ended up turning into my cryptozoology poster that I did. So that is a video. I will put a link in the somewhere. There's a link somewhere. It's either in the description or there's a little card for it. But yeah, more Inktober. This one was kind of a cop-out. And I feel bad for it. I drew a pose that I found just on Google Images of a lady ribbon dancing. You know, I never got credit, or I never gave credit for it, and now I fear for my life. If you're this lady, I really like your poses, and you're very pretty. I didn't trace it, I just used it as a reference, but I drew her exact pose, so whatever. And then Cruel, I drew a shrike, which is a bird who impales its prey on large spikes. Please do not poke the whales, that one is self-explanatory. Guarded, I drew a cat guarding a little mausoleum. It says Belladonna, I think that's feline in Latin or something. I don't know what prompt this was, probably time. The inevitable ticking, talking of death. I really like the composition of this one as well. I think it turned out really nice. I think it looked good on like a big poster. This one I think was shattered or broken or something. Angular, I drew a house. Swollen, I drew a little kid in a big puffy snow jacket, because they always look like they're being swollen up and swallowed by their jackets. We got a spider web for breakable. Drain, just a drain. You know, not much thought went into that one. Expensive, I drew a human skull because human skulls are expensive. I used to really want one, and now I'm like, I could get my tongue split for that money, you know? Muddy, chop, just a little axe. And then I drew some skeletons dancing there, having a grand old time. Let's see, stretch, I drew a little kitty cat. Thunder, I drew Devil's Tower, which is one of my favorite places that I've ever been to. Some Over the Garden Wall. This must have been right when I started, like, watched Over the Garden Wall for the first time. Some patch designs that never really worked out. Here's my little rocket ship. And then this kind of skips around. This is now November 2018. I had a lot of blank pages left over from Inktober, so I went back and just filled them in. Here's Kevin. He's a little bit punk, a little bit emo, and he's very, you know, he's him. And then I was practicing drawing little faces. Some cats. This was modeled off of my cat Bagheera that I have. Technically, she's my mom's cat, but, like, I help bottle feed her, so, like, you know. Here's a Hitchhiker's Guide reference. The fragrant breeze drifted from the sea again. Or, the fragrant breeze drifted up from the sea again. A magician wandered along the beach, but no one needed him. It's so sad. It's so sad. A little cup. And some more journaling. Another portrait. And then this one I did, this is a Girl All the Bad Guys Want, is a song by Bowling for Soup. I absolutely love Bowling for Soup. I love their music. They crack me up. They're wonderful. I got to meet them. All super nice guys. Super nice. I love them. And then I just drew, you know, a hot punk chick. Some angry poetry. Here's some collaging. I tried doing collaging. I'm not good at it. Not good at collages, but, like, I tried, you know? That's all that matters. Oh, here's some scrapbooking. Okay, so in 2018, I have a whole video that I did, a vlog of the whole thing. Me and Alex, my best friend, we did a Halloween, a stay-at-home thing where we watched horror movies, we did little activities, and then we went out to a couple of places and, like, haunted locations and stuff and wandered around. So here was the first day. We watched Tusk, which if you've never seen Tusk before, I recommend seeing it at least once because it's a movie. But I tried Pointillism for the first time. I really liked the way that that came out, and it was actually a lot easier for me to do than I thought it would be. I used a water-soluble pen, though, so, like, you can see the smearing. And then we did, like, a vintage day. I believe we made a pie. We went and saw my brother's school concert that he did. They played Spooky Scary Skeletons. It was wonderful. And here's a little vintage lady. Again, anatomy isn't the greatest. Still terrible at drawing hands. My little rocket ship buddy flying around in space. Here's a clown. This clown looked like this when we went to the haunted house. I'm covering up the name of the haunted house because it was in my hometown. So, you know, please don't come find me. I really like this style, though. It reminds me of like an old children's book. Night of the Living Ludo. We couldn't get the live stream to work out, so instead we went skating. So we got dressed up and went skating. And then this was when we went out to the Northern State Asylum, which is in a town near me in Cedar Woolley. I highly recommend going and checking out the old barns and stuff. It's very scary, very spooky. It's a very old asylum. And then here's the last day that we spent together. We got all dressed up in our Halloween costumes, and we watched Rocky Horror Picture Show. And then this was actually on Halloween, my, like, poorly thrown together, like, garden witch costume, and I got to see my cousin's baby boy for the first time. More over the garden wall. My punk stuff. This I want to turn into a t-shirt, the black cat, and it's a little kitten, but she's a little vintage gal, she's listening to death metal. This is a girl I saw on Instagram, that Honey Pixie is her thing. We got Billy Martin from Good Charlotte twice. Here we've got Dallin Weeks and Ryan Seaman from I Don't Know How But They Found Me. Still never put his little cheek sparkles on there, but, you know, whatever. This is for the actual concert and, like, my little thing from my ticket and stuff. All the songs they played. It was super cool. Concert was awesome. Highly recommend seeing them once we're able to go to concerts again. I definitely want to see them again. My car did get broken into. There's also a vlog on that somewhere on my channel. Trying to do hands, more of Kevin. I think this is where I actually came up with him. And then, yeah, Babs the cat and Barbara. And then a little lady. Here's a sketch dub from Taz Amnesty. I obviously was listening to it and stuff back then. I really like how this came out. I think it turned out really nicely, and I really like how the Mothman came out. I think that worked out really nice too. And then the Beast. We went and saw the Nutcracker, and here's where we get to the point where, like, it's just garbage. This whole book is just garbage. I was watching Lucifer, obviously, designing shirts and stuff for road trips I never went on. This is a Robin Hood costume I was working on and never finished. More Lucifer. I gave him goat eyes. Poses. A lot of Tom Ellis, some Rachel Maxey, me, a random lady from like the 40s or the 50s knitting. Here's another Lucifer thing. And then this, had like shit written here, and I decided to draw a face over it. Very angry comic booky face. And then I drew the bricks behind him, and I was like, I'm gonna draw the bricks on top of his face too and have him fade out, and I think it looks really cool. More garbage dumps, and more practicing techniques, trying different things, trying to come up with designs. Here's some Shane Madej. This was my cake from when I turned 22. I didn't end up having a little rocket ship, and the numbers ended up just being on the cake and icing, but yeah, that's what it looked like. Me getting Jonathan Coulton lyrics wrong, going into my 22nd year of life, some Martin Freeman, some more Jonathan Coulton. This is from the episode of Supernatural called Skin. I was coming up, I wanted to make those the poison labels, but for cats, so that I can put them on my herbs. Another little punk dude, my ex, a naked person, flowers, a room, Baby Yoda. This one's upside down because I opened my sketchbook backwards. This is when I got gouache. I was testing out gouache for the first time, which I need to use more. There's a butt. Might want to cover that up. nobody in particular's butt, just a butt. And then there's me. That it was supposed to look like silver and it just didn't. That I never painted. More gouache stuff. This I want to turn into like a poster. I want this on a poster. I want like a bunch of cool cryptids with sunglasses on them. That's like another idea that I want to come to fruition. And one day I'll do it. A bunch of foresty stuff. I was gonna try to do one of those like flat lay things. See, I was trying and it's not something that my brain can do. These are done little sketches, anatomy, awful, but like I put washi tape on there. These are my favorite supplies, apparently. And more, these are all of these really cheap garbage markers that I rarely ever use for actual art, and that's it. That's the end. This is the brand. This was the sketchbook that I had. What's this? Oh, some penguins. That's what I have painted back there. So, yeah, the sketchbook is really nice. I really like this particular brand of sketchbook. That's gonna be it for me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, leave a comment if you want to. If you saw anything in here that I don't already like have as a piece that like maybe I just keep missing that you would like to see turned into a bigger piece, I could always use the inspiration. It's always good. You can leave a comment down below. If you want to stick around and see more of me, more of the stuff I do, it's not all art. I do a lot of sewing. Well, not right now, but crafts, DIYs, it's all kinds of stuff. It's kind of just a grab bag channel here on the with Eveline Fletcher. Which means that if there's any suggestions for things that you'd like to see, you can always leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy for the inspiration, and I might just do it. So feel free to subscribe. I try to upload every Friday. That's going to be changing to every Friday or Saturday, and just right now, just because of how things are in my life right now, I'm going to give myself that I'm going to try for every week, but it could be every other week. I might miss some. It's mostly just to help relieve the stress that I like to constantly put on myself because I'm mentally ill, and I don't know how to like give myself a break. But yeah, I try for every Friday, and sometimes I miss them. So like, you know, it's chill here. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I'll see you next week, probably with some t-shirt stuff. Bye. Bye.